The rate at which ASUS churns out their ever-popular Zenbook ultra slim laptops is honestly quite terrifying. So, imagine my reaction when our buddies over at ASUS texted me and said there was a delivery on the way, just 3 months after my last Zenbook review. But instead of going, "Oh, you again," this time I was somewhat excited to give the latest Zenbook a whirl. I heard that this one wasn't just capable of juggling spreadsheets and watching YouTube, it could supposedly play games as well. But there's no discrete GPU, you say. Well, on top of receiving Intel's brand new 11th Gen processor, the Zenbook 14 UX425EA has also gotten a nice upgrade to Intel's integrated Iris Xe graphics, which is not only good enough for general office work and content creation, but allegedly strong enough to do some light gaming on as well. So, before we dive into our gaming tests, let's first take a quick refresher course on the ASUS Zenbook. The Zenbook family of laptops are known for their ultra-slim form factor and can be easily identified by their signature concentric circle design on the lid. This model in particular weighs just 1.17 kg and will easily fit into your handbag at just 1.39 cm thick. Ours comes in a sophisticated pine grey finish, and there's a lilac mist option as well if you prefer a lighter color. Now, the ASUS Zenbook 14 claims to be the world's thinnest 14-inch laptop with full I/O ports. So, what we have is an HDMI port and 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports on the left, which is great, and on the right we have a USB 3.2 Gen 1 USB-A port and a micro SD card reader. As you might have noticed, there is one glaring omission here, which is the lack of a 3.5mm jack. ASUS has provided a 3.5mm to USB-C adapter in the box, so that does solve the problem, though you have to put up with one less port and a dongle dangling off the side. The 14-inch IPS level display has a full HD resolution and surprisingly performs pretty well under daylight. The colors are vibrant and images are crisp, and the matte screen prevents glare and is more resistant to fingerprints as well. Though you shouldn't be touching the screen anyway, as this is not a touch display. The keyboard is laid out from edge to edge and is extremely comfortable to type on. The 1.4mm key travel is pretty generous for a thin and light laptop like this. And although there is some flex in the deck, it doesn't really affect your typing experience. What I really like about it though is the nice and large touchpad, which also features ASUS Screen Pad, which is basically a built-in numpad that you can switch on and off. You can do so by pressing and holding this icon in the top right corner for a second or so. Even if you decide to keep it on, it is surprisingly intelligent and is capable of distinguishing between keystrokes and swipes almost perfectly. As for battery, this thing packs a 67 Wh battery, which ASUS claims to last up to 21 hours. But of course, this claim was tested under pretty specific conditions. From my experience, it lasted around 3.5 hours under load, 6 to 7 for general use with the brightness turned up, and you probably get much longer use out of it if you're just watching videos and idling intermittently. It comes with a 65-watt charger, which tops up your battery to 60% in just 49 minutes. It's really small and light, so there's no issue carrying it around at all if you have a bag with you. This portability is what makes the next thing we're going to cover all the more special. Light gaming, an emphasis on light. Prior to this, usually thin and light laptops are not candidates for gaming, light or otherwise. But now, this latest model of the Zenbook has debuted the Intel Core i7 1165G7 processor alongside integrated Intel Iris Xe graphics, which promise a step up from the previous gen's Iris Plus graphics. As a result, the latest iteration of Zenbook is now capable of gaming on the go. For less than 1.2 kg, you can now play mainstream esports titles like DOTA and CSGO on low to medium settings satisfactorily. We actually tested DOTA out on max settings, and the Zenbook managed to pull off an extremely admirable 60 to 70 FPS, at first anyway. Sadly, no matter how much its parts have improved, in the end this is still an ultralight machine that wasn't meant for gaming. After 15 minutes or so, the performance plummeted. The same thing happened with CSGO, which ran above 60 FPS at the highest settings, but started to experience severe frame drops at around 25 to 30 FPS after things started heating up. However, this problem ceased to exist after lowering the settings to low and medium. You can actually play smoothly with no performance drops as long as you don't max out the graphics and settings, which is commendable in what is supposed to be a productivity laptop. So now, you can have LAN parties after working hours or even during working hours if you're daring enough. In terms of heat, the Zenbook never heated up anywhere near your palms and fingers will be. The heat was mostly confined to the top of the keyboard, where the vent is located. The upward-facing vent will expel heat towards your screen mainly, but we didn't find this an issue in the short term as the plastic bezel soaked up most of the heat. Noise-wise, it remained pretty quiet even while gaming, so you won't have to worry about needing to use headphones just to hear your in-game sounds. Though of course, this is still a laptop, so if you're picky about the quality of music, you should carry around a pair anyway because the down-firing speakers are pretty average. Hopefully you have Bluetooth ones though, because like we mentioned earlier, there's no headphone jack, so you have to use the adapter if you're still trapped in the world of wired audio. So, what do you think about the ASUS Zenbook UX425EA? I'm pretty stoked that you can finally play games on a productivity laptop. Even if the graphics can't be maxed out, it's a great compromise for this ultra-compact form factor. As a working laptop, it also offers decent specs, a great typing experience, a nice bright display, and a decent array of ports, even if the headphone jack has been axed. If you want to find out more, head on over to the link in the description. This is Stephanie from Salty News Network, signing off.